Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. Wesley Bray here with Core Scope Insights, where we're always at the core of industry, expanding the scope, as you know. Want to say, hey, good afternoon to everyone. Tonight, we're going to have a it'll be a very to the point show. I do this from time to time. I like to take an opportunity and answer our listeners' questions, talk about some things or concerns that you guys have, or answer the questions you may have regarding the show. So I'll dive right into it tonight. We had a customer, or not a customer. Why do I consider everybody a customer? Everybody's a customer. You're all a customer out there. So, hey, that kind of is a prelude to where we're going to be talking tonight. Um, I had a friend of mine ask me on Facebook, sometimes when I post our shows and what the preview of the show is, or our latest episode, people will ask questions. And the question that Brandon Rains asked me actually on Facebook is, hey, where can I watch your show at? Where can I see the show? How do I become a winner? Of course, we discuss this every show. So those of you who regularly listen or tune into the show, this is just a reminder for you, but for those that have never watched the show, so to answer your question, Brandon, every Thursday the show airs. We try to air it around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Preston does the scheduling for that. The purpose for that is so that people can watch the show or listen to it on their ride home from work, and things of that. But we try to always drop the show on Thursday. So I hope that answers your question. And your second question was, what do I have to do to be a participant to win a prize on the show? Very simple. This is for those of you that have tuned in for the first time. All you have to do is go to Core Scope Insights YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, a like, hit that bell. That helps us out. But leave a comment there if you've watched the show or something, and you'll be entered into our prize wheel to enter one of our great prizes on our prize wheel, as we do every week. So enough about that. I promise I'm going to try to get through this episode and not mention anything else about that for those of you. This is a little repetitive, but tonight I want to just talk about sales. So I'm answering another question that I got an email in, and folks, those of you who don't know, we do have an email address, and please email us your questions if you have questions or concerns, or you want to, let us know something you want to see on the show. We read every email and we try to get back with answers, and sometimes I do that publicly like I am tonight. So we had an email that come in asking me, and this was from Walter. I won't mention your last name, Walter, on this one, but I've known Walter for a long time. I met Walter when I lived in Alabama, and thank you for watching the show, my friend. I appreciate you and our long friendship. But Walter wanted to know, Wes, with AI, do you foresee any major sales changes, or what do you see changing in sales? Very good question. And I've been in sales for a long time, folks. Those of you that don't know, I've been in sales for 34 years total. And, I owned a lawn care company at one time, landscaping company. And so I consider that sales because, folks, when you're in sales, or when you have a business or any business, let's just put this into perspective, what sales is. Sales is the forefront and most important aspect of any company. I don't care what you do, what kind of business you have, it all involves of sales. Trucks don't drive down the road without salespeople selling the product, getting it from point A to point B. You don't have people in the warehouse driving forklifts or cashiers at the register. Sales is all about uh, the foundation of any business. No matter what you do, I don't care whether you're selling ink pens, Christmas cards, whether you're selling service, whether it's junk removal. Why did I mention that? Who knows? Those of you know, my son and I own a junk removal business, clean slate clutter removal, and window spa. It doesn't matter if we're selling a junk removal job or a window cleaning job. Those jobs aren't available without sales. And so, whether you're selling, you got to learn to communicate and the value to build trust, and you can change your life very, very well financially. Sales has been very rewarding to me. Hasn't put me out on the street yet. It's been able to pay my bills, but I look at sales as a profession, folks, and just like a doctor wearing a lab coat, very professional, a lawyer wearing a suit and tie. Sales is very important aspect, and a lot of people say, "Hey, not everybody can do sales," and you're right. Some people don't want to do sales, and I get that. But just so you know, if you've got a job doing anything, be thankful of the salespeople in your organization that made it possible for you to have a job. Um, there's very few. Businesses like doctors and nurses, they don't really have to rely on sales, but, in a way, I guess that's just longevity in life taking its toll, and the patients that they acquire are there because of a need, and that's basically what sales is. You're uncovering a need that a client has, and, you're there to hopefully be able to offer them a solution to that. So one of the biggest mistakes beginners that make in sales, they think that it's all about talking fast or, you know, it's all about something that they have a misconception of sales. But if somebody, hey, I look at it like this: people don't buy products; they buy solutions. So if someone's got dirty windows, they're not buying window cleaning. They're buying a solution. They're buying better curb appeal. They're buying more pride in their home, more natural light, a professional image. So sales regarding service or product, sales is where it all starts. If somebody hires you for cleaning their windows or a junk removal, if it's a service business, they're buying peace of mind. And that's what you're offering. It ain't always about the product or what intend or what you're going to get compensated for. It's what problem do they have in their lives that you could be the solution for or offer the solution for. How serious is it? What happens if it's not fixed? What can be the outcome? So I just wanted to go over things, so that people that think that, hey, salespeople are just fast talking car salesmen, or that's how they get a bad rap or whatever, or you're trying to offer something somebody they don't need. And, there's an old philosophy that sales is a numbers game. For those of you who do not know, you may knock on 100 doors and you may hear 99 no's, but eventually you'll get to that yes. And I think that's what has always drawn me to sales is the fact that it's it's rewarding when you do find that yes. It can be deflating at times. You can go out and knock on doors and not, sell a single thing. But for me, I've always looked at sales as a profession, and the people that I dealt with before I got into sales is how professional they were. And it was something that made me want to get into this profession a long time ago. So another rule of thumb is, a lot of people say, I'm not confident enough for sales. Well, confidence doesn't come first. Experience comes first. And so that's very true. Couldn't be a more true statement. And nobody starts off great at sales. You build confidence by talking to people every day. You build confidence by getting rejected, learning what works and what doesn't, adjusting your approach. I can tell you in my early days in sales, I would go in and something didn't work or something, I would try a different approach to what I was doing. What was I doing wrong? And, you're taught in sales early on, always ask the customer for the sale, ask for the order. Hey, I agree with that 100%. But I've always dealt with customers in a certain way. I like to get to know them on a personal level. I like to know that I like for my customers to know that they can put trust in me, what I'm offering them, and I want to be a part of that solution. And one thing that's always stood out is when a customer tells me that they have a problem or they have an issue, although it's their problem and their issue, maybe it's just the way I'm wired. That problem or issue that they have also becomes a problem or an issue that I have or a challenge because I want to be able to provide the solution and be the one that can fix it. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about sales tonight. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come right back. Hopefully, y'all will stay tuned. And we're just going to give a little bit of time to our sponsors who we can't thank enough. And y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. When strength, simplicity, and American craftsmanship matter, there's only one name to know: Mid-Air Systems. Proudly made in the United States, every unit is powder coated black for a durable, sleek finish that looks as well as it performs. Forget about the toolbox. You'll only need a drill to make 4 quick holes for the eye bolts provided in the box. It installs easily in an attic or crawl space, and one person can level it in seconds. With a 500-pound weight capacity and a full line of custom accessories, Mid-Air Systems delivers strength, safety, and simplicity, all engineered right here at home. That's why every contractor should consider Mid-Air Systems for your next job. When it comes to finding your dream home in South Carolina, experience matters, and Adam Biedenbow brings over 20 years of proven real estate success to every client he serves. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or relocating, even downsizing, Adam knows the state of South Carolina and his community, its neighborhoods, its schools, and its hidden gems, because he's been helping families build their futures here for over 2 decades. With a commitment to honesty, hard work, and personal service, Adam Biedenbow is the name that you can trust when it comes to your real estate needs. Call Adam at 803-206-7025 and let Adam go to work for you. All right, folks, welcome back. Hey, listen, tonight's conversation with myself and you all, I don't claim to be a professional at all. I'm just answering some questions from Facebook, from my emails, things that you guys have commented on, and I kind of got off track a little bit about, do I think AI will replace salespeople? The answer to that, I want to first, let's go ahead and attack that, and let me give you a bulletproof, straight answer to that. Yes, I do think AI could affect sales and the profession of sales. But do I think that salespeople will be eliminated? No, I do not. Just like I don't think service will be eliminated. I don't know yet of any AI platform that removes people's junk or removes their trash from their homes. I don't know of any AI service that, without a person being involved, can go out and clean their windows. So I feel like, your HVAC guys, that they're professionals, these service jobs going into the future are going to be critical for our stability in what we do. Not just myself, but everyone in service work. Whether you're selling a product, you may be able to go on and use AI to create an order for you to send you your goods. But I guarantee you there's a person doing the shipping on the other side. There's a person that's driving that truck down the road. I know they talk about getting robotic trucks, but I haven't seen that happen yet. So that's kind of what we're talking about here. But sales is like going to the gym. You go to the gym, repetition builds strength. And so you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable sometimes. You're going to hear people that say no to you. You're going to get ignored. Some people will say no, some people will be rude. That's part of it, just like anything else. Sales is life, but it's challenging. But it's the people out here that make money in sales. They're usually the ones that stayed consistent long enough to improve at their skill and their trade. So just wanted to kind of, go over some of these questions with you and the importance of first impressions. People decide very quickly whether they trust you. I can't agree with that more. When I go in and I'm approaching a customer or I ask to speak to a customer, I want to give that customer my first of all, my utmost attention. I want to be aware and keen of what they're saying. I know I talk a lot here when I'm hosting a show because I'm hosting a show, but I'm very charismatic. I'm very passionate about what I do. I like to get to know my customers on a first name basis. Sometimes I don't remember names because the age I'm at, but I do remember every customer in my mind, every person I talk to, and normally I can always remember their concerns or their passions of why I'm there more so than their name. And I know names are important, but for me, remembering what their concerns are so that I can provide the solution is just as important. So after I go in, I introduce myself. Hi, I'm Wesley Bray. I'm with CoreScope Enterprises. After I say that, I find out a customer's name, or if, maybe I know the customer. I want to know what I can help them with today. What problems are they having that I can solve? What products do they need that I can provide? Those are the things that I really kind of shut up and listen to hear what they say. And I always like to repeat back to my customer, Mr. Customer, if I heard you correctly, you need, maybe it's R410A today, or, whatever it is you're selling. It may be staples for your staple gun, whatever. But I fully believe appearance matters. As I've gotten older, I've always heard dress like the position you want to be. Now, I own my company, but I still try to dress professionally. Your tone matters. I don't get upset with customers. I can't think of a time that I've ever really been argumentative with a customer. So I'm one of these old school guys that customer service, the customer comes first. The customers always comes first. No, and in my eyes, it's very rarely that I can argue with myself on that one because I think customer service is always important and your energy matters. I love what I do. It comes out with passion, I'm told. It's just because I'm one of these that live for Mondays. When you really truly like what you're doing and enjoy what you're doing, Mondays for me is never a bad day because I look forward to another 5 days straight in a row that I get to go do what I love to do. I actually on Fridays I get a little, I don't know what's the word, deflated because for 2 days I'm sitting around at home watching, twiddling my thumbs or doing something, still trying to work, and I miss what I do when I'm not doing it. But professionalism matters, and I think that it shines through if you really enjoy what you're doing, and if you can't reflect what you love to do and what you're enjoying, then sometimes it is time to find another profession or to find something that you enjoy more, because I hate for anybody to be miserable. Luckily, I can say in sales, I've had some great bosses. I started in sales when I got out of the Navy, worked for Graybar Electric Company. I can name the people I've worked with over the years. And in fact, let me do that. I worked for a guy by the name of Dick Offenbacher with Gray Bar Electric Company. Mike Godfrey was my sales manager there. And I learned some great traits and way to do sales. I mean, I remember the first trip with Mike Godfrey riding down the road. He goes, "Wes, do you ever wonder if you're driving to more, or if you're driving past more business than you're driving to?" And that certainly rung out in my head. It left an impression, and and I remember I got in the mentality of if I go to a place and they say no, or if I don't get a sale today, there's smoke coming out of somebody else's chimney. If you look at it that way, that the opportunity, you may be really excited about an opportunity, but if it doesn't work out, there's always smoke coming out of another chimney. So, when you speak, slow down, be slow. Maybe I'm talking too fast now, but I try to slow down, be clear. You know, don't overtalk. And of course, like I say, hosting the show, that's what I'm doing here tonight is talking a good bit. But just things I want to help those that are out there that may be young. Maybe you're fresh out of college, maybe you didn't go to college, you come out of high school, you want to get into sales. Folks, I know a lot of companies, they look for that 4-year degree. I would much rather mentor someone that has the passion, the ability, the will and desire to make money, but be professional. Um, that means a lot more to me, the personality, than the piece of paper that you could bring to the table. One thing I've learned is people buy confidence and certainty in an individual, and that's a fact. So if you don't believe in your service, nobody else is going to believe that what you do either. So you got to believe in yourself, believe in your skills, and those are just things that I like to talk about because I've certainly worked for Mike Godfrey at Dre Bar, my first manager. I can't thank him enough for the things he taught me. At Aprilaire, I had the great opportunity to work with Dave Rostek, who later on became the national sales manager for Aprilaire. Wonderful guy, wonderful mentor. I worked for Mike Heron, who was my boss, and Tony New, all the great people that have helped mentor me and shape me and train me. And how could I ever forget the great, wonderful Mark Marquillo, who was I was actually his first student when he started at Aprilaire and trained me in sales. So those folks, I just want to say thank you for. I went to Honeywell. I had the opportunity to work for Dave. I'm sorry. I had the opportunity to work with Tom Luddy, one of the legends in our industry in HVAC. Rod McKinnon in North Carolina helped shape me. I learned so many valuable things from these people. Jeff Ortiz was our manager. And just great opportunities and the people that have shaped me and helped me in my sales career. And how could I ever forget the great Charlie Johnson with McCall Supply while I was there? So good shout out. Sorry it took a little long, but I want to give people their credit for where I am today through sales and training me and helping me become, the person that I am. New salespeople, hey, you're going to make mistakes. That's just part of it. For example, we use purified water. We gotta purify it some way or another. We gotta filter it out. So you're going to go through a process of what you do wrong before you get to what you do right. So let that process play out and let your experience grow. And don't run from the profession because it seems challenging. Learn to take the hurdles out of the race. And that comes from repetition, loving what you do, and the passion and the effort you put into it to becoming familiar with your product and being familiar with the customers and knowing the opportunities that you can provide for them. But hey, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to recognize our sponsors again. Show wouldn't be a show without our listeners and our sponsors. I can't thank you enough. We'll be right back.
CrawlBuddy is a versatile device created by a field service pro, first of its kind. It is a tool case, tool sled, transport device, and more. Heavy-duty contractor grade. Ready for any conditions. Work smarter. Be faster. Connectable sleds tow 190 pounds. Glides over wires, pipes, and vapor barriers. Built-in razor device. Zip-tie chamber and multiple tool pockets. Turn horrendous jobs into money-making jobs with CrawlBuddy's towing system. It's just easier. Low-profile design makes it ideal for those super tight spaces. Carry everything you need to make fewer trips, never too low. If you can go, Buddy can go. Equipped with a rotatable work light, powerful magnet tray, CrawlBuddy by far exceeds the capabilities of an ordinary tool bag. Technician provided solutions so you can get in, get done, and get out.
On every job, big or small, one adhesive brand keeps America moving. Electrotape, a family-owned company proudly headquartered in the U.S. and trusted by pros who can't afford to guess when it comes to quality. Need electrical tape that holds strong in the toughest conditions? Electrotape has it. Looking for painter's tape that delivers clean, sharp lines every time? They've got that too. From underground marking tape for utility crews to heavy-duty masking tape for contractors to everyday painters and prep tapes for home projects, Electrotape has the right tape for every job on your list. Durable, reliable. When you need a tape that works as hard as you do, reach for the brand that covers it all. Electrotape, tapes for every job. All right, folks, welcome back. Segment 3. We're going to spin the wheel here in a little bit, but I'm enjoying this tonight. We don't have a guest in the studio tonight, but it allowed me to address some questions from our listeners and to talk about a topic that's very dear and passionate to my heart, or what it might do is, and I could consider myself now with 30 some years in sales. I guess I am a career salesperson. But, talking to those out there who've never done sales before, a lot of times new salespeople, and we're taught this in the beginning, teach your customers about the benefits and the features of products. New salespeople a lot of times make the mistake of listing too many features. They may say, you know, if they're selling window cleaning, for instance, I'll talk about that because, hey, I own a window cleaning company, clean slate clutter removal and window spa. But for example, if I went out there and told the customer, hey, we use purified water, uh, we have professional equipment, we offer same day service. All those, that's all true. And it can really move the needle. That's fine. But outcomes are what closes deals. So instead, I may say things like, your windows will stay cleaner longer with our service. Your property will stand out based on the service we provide for you. You'll save yourself hours of work by allowing us to do it for you. We make the process stress free. So a lot of times it's the tones, and those are the kind of things you kind of have to go through when you're out there and you're doing things. But people care most about results, what the results does for them after the product or the service has been sold. So, but just sales can be challenging. Handling rejection, you cannot take rejection personally, folks. If you take rejection personally, you probably never would have got through high school, right? Sometimes people aren't interested. Maybe they can't afford it. The timing is wrong. There could be any number of things, or maybe they already have someone. I can't tell you how many times I've went to talk to a customer or a potential customer, and the word is, "Hey, I've already got somebody doing that." I don't look at that as, I always tell the customer, "Hey, that's great. I'm glad you've got someone taking it care of for you. I respect your relationship with them. I wish it had been me, but I do respect your loyalty. I do." Folks, I respect loyalty to anybody that has someone that's taking care of those issues for me. But I always tell people, hey, listen, if anything ever happens, or if I can pick up the pieces, or if I can, I'm not looking for a whole piece of the pie. Just let me have an opportunity. Sometimes your current person may not be able to provide you with product because maybe it's on back order and you need it tomorrow. Let me fill the void, So any way you can get in with a customer and establish a relationship and prove your worth and what you can do for them is always is great. It doesn't mean you failed when you hear rejection. So one of the best skills you can develop is staying calm when objections come up. If somebody says it's too expensive, instead of arguing, ask compared to what, or whatever you're hoping to spend. Keep the conversation going. In sales, better than showing things and talking about and being directive. A lot of times, the best thing you can do is ask questions that they can answer. I don't know what your favorite color is if I don't ask you, unless you come out and tell me. But if I'm going to sell you a water bottle, what's your favorite color? I want to provide you with the water bottle color of your choosing because it's what you like. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Questions lead to answers, and let the customer open up to you. Just some things that I wanted to talk about tonight and give you guys some, answer some questions and talk more about sales. Most of the time, there a lot of times you're in a trust building relationship with the customer, building the bond. They're getting to know you, you're getting to know them, and trust matters. And consistency beats talent 3 out of 4 times all the time, if not all the time. So decide when uh, decide who win, and usually the people, will always be clear. Follow up with what a customer tells you. Let them know that you actually listen and cared enough. Show up and stay positive. Learn from your mistakes and keep improving, because sales is a wonderful trade. I would love to help anyone wanting to get into this, help mentor. That's what I enjoy doing. At my age, I find out that giving back is so rewarding to me on a professional level, and helping other people to succeed. Hey, we won't stop this here. We'll have maybe another episode where we're talking about other ways. But trust me, sales is important. I do not think AI will ever replace a good salesperson. Um, you go into your supermarkets now, people are talking, you're having to enter your order. Even, I won't mention stores, but I would much rather work with a person. Same thing when I go to a restaurant. I hate using those little machines now at a taco restaurant to put in what I want. I'd much rather tell a person what I want. Is it changing sales? Yes, things are changing. But folks, service, dependability, honesty, integrity, those are things that a machine just can't replace. So, folks, hey, we're going to come right back. I know you're probably tired of listening to me tonight. And hey, it's just something I wanted to talk close to my heart. I wanted to thank all the people that have been so inspirational and such a big part of my career. And I want to tell you, sales is an enjoyable and rewarding career. I have a lot of fun with it. I get up every day and enjoy what I do. And if you're thinking about the sales opportunities, talk to me. Call me 803-995-3342. I'd love to talk to you if sales is what you're wanting to do. We have opportunities within our own company all the time. So we can talk. I love a person that reaches out. I'm one of these people that like to be sold. I love a watch. I don't have on a greatest watch. I've got on a cheap watch tonight, but hey, it gets the job done. But when I go to buy a watch or a suit, I love it when someone can tell me the benefits and the features of that watch, and why it's good, why it's worth purchasing. Same thing with a great suit. So, hey, but just so you get know, guys, hey, enjoyed tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. Leave a comment, please. So just leave a comment what you'd like to see next on the show. Tell me tonight. I want to hear after the show airs. Let me know. Did you enjoy this show? Did you find it helpful? Did you find it meaningful? If you're a young person out there and you don't know what you want to do with your career, and maybe you don't have a lot of technical skills, or maybe you're not mechanically inclined, but you know how to talk to people. And if I can help you, hey, don't ever hesitate to reach out. You can reach me, Wesley Bray, CoreScope Enterprises, at 803-995-3342. But hey, stay tuned. We're going to spin that wheel. We're going to choose a winner, and then we're going to say goodnight. All right, folks, welcome back. We're at that time of the night where we're going to spin the wheel. But look here, tonight, folks, we're going to throw in a bonus prize. So whoever tonight's winner is, regardless of what it is, when we spin the wheel, you're going to get a CoreScope Enterprise or CoreScope Insights ball cap. Okay, blue in color, got the logo on the front. Hopefully, you'll sport it proudly. Let everybody know about the show. So anyway, we're going to spin the wheel tonight. It's got to go around once. And our winner tonight is going to win a $50 Visa gift card. So, hey, hopefully that's you. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. We're going to move this over here. And we're going to go into our handy dandy wheel. I got it the wrong way tonight. So let me turn it around this way. And we're going to spin it here and shake them up. Good luck to you out there. Somebody's going to win a $50 gift card and a CoreScope hat. Let's see who the winner is tonight. Let's open it up here. Let's see. There's one stuck to the top. I'm going to grab that one stuck to the top. Okay. Got stuck on the top. I'm going to pull that out of there. And Linda Harris, you have won a Corescope hat. I know you'll sport it everywhere you go, and you won a $50 gift card. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate you. On a 1, 2, 3, folks, good night.